Hi there everybody, it's Rich here with another fast and fun video, and in this week's video I'm going to talk about the garage and what I've been doing with regard to buying and selling cars, and in particular my Porsche Boxster S 987 Gen 1 that I've owned for about 2.5 years. And you may notice if you look behind me the car isn't here, and that's because I've sold it. And this video is going to explore the reason and rationale for why I've sold it and what my plans are for the future. Sell any of the cars, I always get asked the same questions. What's wrong with it, or what don't I like about it? And that's just not the case. All the cars that I own, they all serve a purpose. And what I was finding is that both the Boxster and the SL were better in the summer months, with the roof down, wind in the air, really prestigious brands, fantastic driving experiences. One may have been more pure sports car in the Boxster, the SL may have been more GT, but they still serve that weekend toy, that weekend car. And what we were finding is that the other car was spending more time in the garage in the summer months. So what we've decided to do is actually we're going to sell both. And there's sort of two reasons for that. One was the drive to combine them, to get one car between those two, so combine the funds really. And one of the reasons for that is the market. The market's really strong at the moment, the market's really buoyant at the moment, and that's probably because obviously in the summer you get the cyclic weather, in the summer months the convertibles, July time, you'll get really good prices for convertibles. But we've also, I think, suffering a little bit of the sort of post-COVID, or should I say post-lockdown COVID market, where I think there's an influx of money into the second-hand car market, certainly for sports cars, and just really almost across the patch, cars are really strong at the moment, and with the market being so buoyant that I thought it was a really good time to sell both. I was planning to do this video with the Porsche here actually, but I put it on the market, and within 48 hours it had sold for the full asking price, and the price that I put it on I thought was a fair and reasonable price. It certainly wasn't cheap. It was on the upper end, and what I certainly just shows you the strength. And I think when you come to sell cars, if you put the time and effort in to do a couple of things really right, one is get really good photos, get the car looking its best, and two, make sure your description is full. It's spend that hour writing a really good thorough article all about the car, and it gives any potential buyers that good information early, and it certainly helps sell the car if you get the advert correct and right. So with the price that I sold the Boxster for, which was several £1,000s more than I actually paid for it 2.5 years ago, that negated most, not quite all, but almost most of the servicing and maintenance costs for 2.5 years, including 2 main services and the crossover pipes that I had done, and gearbox, oil change, and several things throughout the 2.5 years. And it's almost been zero cost motoring on a Porsche. 10,000 miles I did in the car, so that's absolutely fantastic, and just shows you where the market is at the moment with regard to the Porsche Boxster. And the third reason is really because I've not really got any brand loyalty. I can remember when I started this channel 2 years ago, almost exactly. I had 3 German cars, an Audi, a Mercedes and a Porsche, and if and when the SL goes, I'll be back to having no German cars then, and having French and Japanese instead. I don't know what I'm going to replace the Boxster with, and the SL, and there's a few options there, including some German options as well. So, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. I've got to sell the SL first. So as one chapter closes and another chapter opens, and your story goes on, and I think it just gives you as a petrol head that much more enjoyment really to experience different makes and models of sports car. If anybody specifically has any ideas, I'm open to suggestions. I think there's a couple of rules at the moment that I'm trying to follow. One is I don't want front wheel drive. I've got the two Renault Sports that are both front wheel drive, so I definitely want rear wheel drive. Potentially four wheel drive is an option. And I don't want anything too modern, so I want to go ideally 10 years or even earlier. 2010 is the latest, maybe 2005 or earlier, even a 2000, something like that, something sort of 90s or 2000s. That's the sort of the rationale, that's the sort of what I'm looking at. And I'm looking at GT, I'm looking at sports, probably manual, convertible is okay, but can be coupe, possibly four-door is an option as well. And the budget's probably going to be around about 15,000 at the moment. Might go a little bit higher if I see something in particular. So there's a lot of nice cars in that area, and we'll see. Anybody's got any suggestions, anyone's got any thoughts, then please drop any comments down below on the video, and I'll be sure to read every one of them. So that's the garage update. That's the Porsche now gone. The SL's on the market as well to go in the next few weeks hopefully, and then we'll start looking in vigour for the replacement. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give me the thumbs up, please subscribe and stay tuned, because there'll be another video coming up really soon.